Hey, Uncle Dave fans, welcome back to another edition of Fishing with Uncle Dave. We're still in Wisconsin, we're still in Chetek, but we moved to Outers Resort. Okay, this is a nice little resort. It's just got some new owners, Jamie and Robin. We'll shout out to them. We had a great stay. They have a really nice place there. Again, it's called Outers Resort. It's right there on Chetek, in Chetek, on Chetek Lake. And we are there on Memorial Day. It's a little busy. All right, you guys, look at this. We got pontoon boat after pontoon boat. There's a skier over there going in the mix. We were laughing. We were pulling out here, and it's like you're merging onto the highway. I mean, we had to wait for an opening and sit there and watch. I mean, like I said, here it is. Now we're speeding up. We got to get out into the traffic. I've never seen this many boats on a lake in my life. The owner said it was kind of unusual. I said it looked more like 4th of July. Listen to that, Uncle Dave fans. You can't hear that from the couch. Oh man, what a beautiful place. Again, we're fishing up in Chetek, Wisconsin. We're on, which lake we on, honey?
Prairie Lake.
Prairie Lake again today. We're back here, we're working the back ends. I'm throwing the spinnerbait today. We're working the top of the weeds. So you can see I'm getting a little bit of weeds and moss. So keep your spinnerbait clean so those blades work good. But anyway, what a beautiful day. We're back here listening to the frogs sing. And I figure if there's frogs, there should be bass. All right, so, all right, come on, join us, get out here. All right, we got off the highway and got back in the spots and started fishing. Here's Brenda with another great crappie, and look at this bluegill here. I mean, we had to stop. We had to measure. She's right at 10 inches long, and I tell you what, and look at this. She weighed a 0.90 pounds, almost a pound. Another monster bluegill. All right, little Dave fans, and we're back again. It's the wind's out of the west today, blowing pretty good. We've had some pretty good gusts today, but today I switched up. I'm using it's a mini mite, and I'm tipping that with a little bit of a wax worm. And we're kind of in the same areas, I'm going over there close to that bog over there. Just let her drift along there until it sets up. That's like a 1/32 ounce for a jig. So it takes, like I said, it takes a long time to get them to settle down. The same way, we got the wind blowing in here. It's bringing a lot of little bait fish. It's bringing insects and different things in this way. So we'll just throw that little mini mite out there, just like we would just like we would a chicken jig. You don't get one, just reel her in, throw it back out there. Just try, just keep going up on different spots. With the wind blowing in, there should be some fish here. I'll let it pause, and then I'll go ahead and just give it a couple little tips with the end of my rod. Okay, well, Dave fans, I had to go ahead and cut the video right there. The wind got so strong you just couldn't hear us talking. But anyway, we got that little mini mite on there. We're working it back to the boat. Like I said, wait till the bobber stands back up. Just be patient, let it work slow. I was tipping it with a wax worm. Like I said, and that wind blowing, it's sometimes when you throw out, you'll get a kind of a big loop in your line because you got that light line on. We're using 6-pound test line. So just try to keep your line tight as you can. Give it a little flip with the end of your rod once in a while and kind of roll it toward it. It's almost like fly fishing a little bit. If you ever seen them do that with rolling your line over, trying to keep it, from pulling your bobber around in a big circle there. But anyway, just some other little tips you can use when you're out there fishing those little light lines and little light jigs and stuff, and just something else that maybe help you catch a few more fish. All right, you guys, Brenda's in the back of the boat. She's casting out for these bluegill and those crappie. I'm in the front of the boat throwing a spinnerbait for these bass, and we are putting it on them. All right, let me show you my spinnerbait up close. I used the two blades there. It's not a willow leaf. It's kind of in between. The skirt wears out. I'll put a new skirt on, but you can see my trailer there. That is a culprit worm. It's about a 6-inch worm that I put on there, and it helps keep the bait up in the column, and it gives it extra spin. All right, now when I talk about bogs, this is a perfect example of a bog. Okay, you can see down in the water, see this, that there's space underneath the water. It offers shade underneath there, and it also offers ambush points for those guys to come out and hit the prey. Just shows you that spinner bait. Look at there. Just on the next cast, here's a nice little bass. He's not big enough to keep, but he is a lot of fun to catch. We'll get him back in there, and Brenda can show you over here. Look at that bog we're fishing. There's a nice bog right there. So that's what we're kind of fishing around. It's kind of the area you're looking for, you know, and we're sitting in about 5 foot of water again. So that's what we're looking for today. While we're out here, we kind of switch gears off the bluegill and the crappie. All right? All right, when we was out fishing, we heard a commotion and looked around, and we seen this loon. He's out there flopping around. And look at that. He had caught a nice bluegill, and we watched him swallow that dude right there. It's just something else to see. Fans, we kind of moved to a little bit different area, but the results are the same. Yeah, that chicken hair jig sit down this little ways there, and see, Brenda, now we're kind of more toward, we're away from the bogs now, and we're just up toward the banks there, and we're just fishing it back. And we're sitting in here. You can see we are in about, I guess 5'7", almost 6 foot of water. And we're throwing back up to the banks. You can almost see the bottom up there, and then we work it back. All right, that's how we do her. All right, look at there. Oh, he came off. That was a giant bluegill. All right, Aunt Brenda, go out there and hook it on them things. We just lost a bluegill that was over 10 inches. I'm telling you, that thing was huge. Right here in the same area. Put the spot lock on. And we're just going to sit here and we're going to fish this little area for a little bit. We found I said it was drifting through here. We found a couple of fish here, so. And usually those old big ones kind of stay together. So if there's if that school of crappie are all bigger ones, well, we'll just see if we can catch a few here. And then we'll go on to the next spot. And the wind's starting to pick up a little bit on us this afternoon, not too bad. But I'm trying to stay off the fish is all. All right, but that's what we're doing again today. Sitting here and let's see, the last 2 fish got off from her, so we're not sure what's going on. we're trying to remedy that. All right, just checking her stuff. Everything looks good.
Look to make sure, man.
Yep, make sure there's no weeds on there and everything. And then she's going to turn around and throw it back out there again. All right.
Very smart fish.
Okay, there we go again. It's in the water there. I'll zoom in on it and watch it just a little bit here. All right, but you saw how deep it was. It's set down about 1.5 foot, 2 foot deep. Like I said, we can pretty much see the bottom up there from where we're sitting. Sweet, there. Oh, there she got a bite. Looks like he might have spit it out. Yeah, he spit it out. Some of these things, I'll tell you what, as soon as they figure out it's a wax worm or something like that, boy, they will spit it out in a hurry. There he goes again. Oh, all right, she's got that one. Oh, missed that one there too. All right, here we go. We call those swings and misses. All right. So you get a few of those each trip. Yeah, it's kind of like Mulligan's golfing, ain't it? Oh, he got her wax worm, looks like. All right. All right, Uncle Dave fans, when you come to Chetek Lake, Chain of Lakes, this is actually Chetek's only full-service lakeside marina. Okay, you can stop here and get your gas. You can see there it's a gift shop. ATM ice, live bait. It's got, pretty much everything a person would need here at the marina. Both sides sales and service. It's a Lake County Marina here in Chetek. This is its full service, and here comes Brenda now. We've got some gas, and she got some goodies. All right, we're gonna go back to fishing, Uncle Dave fans. These big old blue herrings, I'm telling you what, we're everywhere. And if you've seen one sitting on the bank, you may want to stop, throw out in front of him. All right, Uncle Dave fans, look at here. Now that there is a big female crappie. See how white she is compared to the black one we had? All right, that's a big female. And she is 11 inches long. Look at there, she's a big old fat thing. Okay, Uncle Dave fans, like I say, this is a white crappie. I don't know if it's just because maybe it's a female or if it's a different species, because this one is almost black. Okay, he looks different. They think maybe I was told it was a male, but maybe there are black crappie as well. So don't know for sure. All right, Day fans, here we are again today. We are up in Prairie Lake again today. I'm throwing this big old spinner bait. We can, you see, well, we just caught. I've had six bass today so far, and I've got three of them into the boat. Got 3 bass get off. 2. Oh, there was a hit. Here we go. They're in there. Somebody's lying there. Oh, we're just moving along. So when they're close to that brush, bring them back. There's a fish right there. There, here. I don't know what that is. Pointing his face up right here. Put his face down. It's a crappie right there. Just throw that dude in there, run it down. This water's clear enough you can see it. I let it run down about a foot, maybe 2 foot under the water. And so not only can you see it, but a lot of times you can see the fish come up and hit it. It's pretty cool. You just watch them turn sideways and take it with them. But anyway, that's what we're doing. We're out here today again. It's a beautiful day. It's going to be about 80 degrees today. Perfect day to be out fishing. Yeah, when we got to a sweet area and Brenda started catching those crappie, I'd have to put that spinner rod down and pick up my chicken hair jig. Just had to do it.
All right, we're fishing by the bogs. Been over a week here. This starts to happen. Get our spots. Well, there's where we stayed, Lakeview. Now we're in a different place. Continue on. Whoops, there's somebody. Some other people. We had a guy in here a little bit ago with a live scope. Got so disgusted at us, he left. There's more. There's Uncle Dave. We got back in this cove a little bit ago, and then we came out. They had us all blocked in there. But yeah, we're catching fish all along through there. Yep. Another good day.
Boop, 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 boop. Dance, 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 dance. Dance, dance, dance. He's got the rhythm. Rhythm, he's got the rhythm. I'm missing a big bass right there, I'm sure. All right, it's been a long day of fishing. Me and Brenda come back to the dock here for a little bit of rest and relaxation, we thought. But we have found probably just as many bluegill and crappie here tonight if we got back as we have all day out there fishing. So we're just sitting here. It's doing the same thing we did all day. You know, chicken hair jig tipped with a wax worm. Brenda's using a green one now. We'll throw it out there. Like I said, it's just like all day long. We'll wait for it to, watch for it to stand up, and then we work it back to us. Yeah, repeat, repeat, repeat. Yeah, it's fishing, it's not catching, so just be patient, keep trying what we're showing you, and you'll get it done. Yeah, right there on the dock, we found a nice little bunch of crappie and bluegill. What a good time, what a wonderful lake. All right, another day, back to bass fishing. We was out there along the bog. We saw this old goose. She's sitting there. She's all hot. She's sitting on them. We've seen baby geese all the way up, and look, she's still sitting on eggs. So I guess I don't know if they have 2 batches or just one, but anyway, look at this little guy here. He's a little fisher guy. Right there in front of him, Brenda, we got a little spot there, caught another crappie. Yeah, me and Brenda sitting there, and I'll tell you what, we started hearing this commotion back in the water, and just watch, these ducks started fighting. Hey, watch what happens. crap. All I can say is mating season. Well, anyway, hey, let's get back to bass fishing, all right? Here we go. Fish on. Little guy, he came off. Well, as we just moved along from spot to spot, and Uncle Dave put it on another big old bass, and of course Brenda's back there hammering those crappie. Not only is she hammering crappie back there, but look at this bluegill. I mean, we caught those big bluegill for 2 weeks in a row. The bass didn't really start biting until the second week, once that water temperatures rose up. Look here, then Brenda caught a nice little white bass. While we was there, the water went from 59 degrees all the way up to about 73 to 74 degrees. And you can see what it did to the fish. I mean, they went from pre-spawn to pretty much spawning, and we just caught fish after fish after fish. They went from the 4 to 6 foot of water up to the shallower water. We met lifelong friends again while we was there. It was great to meet other fishermen and stuff, these guys from Iowa. But like I said, once the later week went on, the bass were biting, and we had a great time. All right, look here, Uncle Dave fans. This bluegill was swimming by, and Brenda was fast enough to reach in and catch it with the doggone net. She said she won't need the fishing pole anymore. Nope. She's just going to start catching. There's so many here. She's just going to catch them with a net. All right, from Chetek, Wisconsin, we're here on the last day, and we're just enjoying ourselves, catching a few more fish before we pack up to go home. All right, you guys, thanks for watching for Uncle Dave. I mean, it looked kind of funny, but it actually happened. You know, I mean, there were just so many fish. We just kept on catching them and catching them. Look at this crappie. And, hey, Brenda did catch a couple of little perch. We were surprised to see those, but it's a nice addition to catch those. You know, and we just sent a shout-out back to the kids. They're at home watching the dogs, but we had a great time in Chetek, Wisconsin. All right, Uncle Dave fans, looky here. It's, what is it, about 10:30, 11 o'clock there?
10:44.
10:44, look at there. And them big old boys are still biting, you guys. I'm telling you what. I got this, there she goes. You know me and that Uncle Dave and those spinnerbaits, I tell you. And look, you can Brenda show you where we're at. We're just in a little spot here. We're throwing up underneath the little trees there where we get to. We caught him off a little spot right back there behind us. And it's only about a foot of water where he came out of. So don't be afraid to throw back in there up in that shallow water and then bring it back to you. Because them big boys can be laying anywhere. All right? Get out here and get it done. All right, you guys. That's just how you do it right here. All right, you guys, get out here and go fishing. Yeah, Uncle Dave fans, the bass were hitting. It's one of those rare moments where everything worked out perfect. And look at this big bowfin. He actually tore up my spinnerbait. I had to repair it. But when I got a spinnerbait back together, we started hammering the bass again. And a walleye actually came up and jumped on that spinnerbait. You just never know what you're going to catch up there, Chetek. Just go ahead and get out there, keep throwing, have a good time, and catch some fish. All right, Uncle Dave fans. All right. We're over there. This morning. It's about 7:15, well, 7:24. That was my second cast of the day. You know, using the spinnerbait like I showed you. All right, but there you go. That's what you can expect up here at Chetek Lakes. Up here, going next to those bogs up there. Find a little spot. Go there. Keep throwing. Keep repeating. And I'll tell you what, you can catch a whole basket full of these guys. But the limit's only 5. So you can only take 5 of these home. So, all right. There you go, Uncle Dave fans. That's how we do it. All right, and this week, the same as last week, our jig of choice was the chicken jig. It was made right there in Rice Lake, Wisconsin. They have different sizes, multiple colors, but we used it, and we really like those, tipping with the waxworms, red worms, whatever. And as always, God bless you for watching. Thanks for subscribing. God bless our troops. Hey, get out there on the water and have a good time. Keep fishing.